श्री गुरु चरण पद्मा केवल भक्ति सद्मा श्री गुरु चरण पद्मा केवल भक्ति सद्मा बंदो मुई सावधान माते बंदो मुई सावधान माते जहार प्रसादे बाये भवत रियो जहां जहार प्रसादे बाये भवत रियो जहां कृष्ण प्राप्ति होई जहां होइते कृष्ण प्राप्ति होई जहां होइते गुरु मुख पद्मा वाक्य चित्ते कोरिया क्या गुरु मुख पद्मा वाक्य चित्ते कोरिया क्या और न कोरी हो मने आशा और न कोरी हो मने आशा श्री गुरु चरण रति ऐसे उत्तम गति श्री गुरु चरण रति ऐसे उत्तम गति जे प्रसादे पुर सर्व आशा जे प्रसादे पुर सर्व आशा चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्म जन्म प्रभु से चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्म जन्म प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते वेद गाय जहाँ रचरितो वेद गाय जहाँ रचरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनरा बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनरा बंधु लोकनाथ लोकेरा जीवाना शिला प्रभुपाद लोकेरा जीवाना हा हा प्रभु कर दया देह मोरे पद छाया हा प्रभु कर दया देह मोरे पद छाया गुसु त्रिभुवाना शिला प्रभुपाद पतित पावना दुआ पद लैला शरणा गुसु त्रिभुवाना प्रभु कर दया देह मोरे पाद छाया प्रभु कर दया देह मोरे पाद छाया प्रभुपाद पतित पावना दुआ पद लैला शरणा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपाद 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 नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निते नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्त वृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्त वृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्त वृंद उदिलो वरुणो पूरब भागे द्विजामनि गौरवमनि जागे बकत समूह लोया साथे गेल नागर ब्राजे ताथई बाजे लखोल गन गनता है जाजरा रोल प्रेमे दला दला सुनुरा अंग चरणे मुकुर बाजे मुकुंद माधव जादव हरि बोलो न बोलो रे वदन बारी नीचे निंदा बस गेलो रे रति दिवस शरीर साजे अनन दुर्लभ मानव देह पाइया की करो भावना के हो बिना भजल जशोदा सुत चरण पड़ी दलाज उदित तपन होइबे आस्था बिना गल बलि होइबे व्यस्त तब केन एबे आलस्य हो न भज हृदय राजे जीवन अनित्य जान हसार ताहे नाना विधा विपद बाजी नाम सया करे जतने तुम ताक अपन काजे जीवेर कल्याण साधन काम जगते आवसिए मधुर नाम जी अविद्याति निरतपन रूप हृदय गगन विराजे कृष्ण नाम सुधा करिया पान जुराओ भक्ति विनोद प्राण नाम बिना किछु नहीं तो और 14 भुवन माजे नाम बिना किछु नहीं तो और 14 भुवन माजे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे राधे श्याम। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे हराय नमः कृष्ण यादवाय नमः, हरे यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः। गोपाल गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदन, गिरिधारी गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन। श्री चैतन्य नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत सीता, हरि गुरु वैष्णव भगवत गीता। श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ, श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Jaya Radhe Shyam, Jaya Radhe Shyam. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhams Prabhupada Ashtotas Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhams Prabhupada Ashtotas Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Ki Anand Koti Vaishnavrind Ki Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki प्रेम से गौ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की द्वारका धाम की गंगा मई की जमुना मई की भक्ति देवी की तुलसी महारानी की श्याम भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री गौड़िताय की श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम जी की श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर जी की नरसिंहदेव भगवान की प्रहलाद महाराज की शिला प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. So I'm reading from Swamiji again. I just ordered these books for the gift shop. We should have them any day now. So this was about the first Vyas Pujas that were held. It says, the following year, in 1970, Prabhupada was in Tokyo on Vyas Puja Day on his way to India. None of his disciples really knew how to perform the ceremony, but their awkward attempts were endearing to him, if also vexing. Brahmananda remembers, Srila Prabhupada said to bring pushpa, which, unbeknownst to his disciples at the time, means flowers. Ever dutiful, Tamal Krishna rushed into the kitchen to cook pushpana rice and brought it out for his spiritual master. Exasperated, Prabhupada tried to make it easy for him. Bring flour. Hearing flour, the disciples then brought out a large bowl of wheat flour. During these early years, Vyasa Puja was observed sporadically and informally at most ISKCON centers, but was mainly an event at the center at which Prabhupada happened to be staying at the time. There were no written instructions on the particulars, nor did Prabhupada insist on a celebration. In due course, however, their love for their spiritual master necessitated their doing things properly, and according to their desire, Prabhupada trained them in the nuances of Gaudiya Vaishnava etiquette, including appropriate observance of Vyasa Puja. It never dawned on the early devotees that Prabhupada was actually born on the day after Janmashtami, Krishna's appearance day, and that this day is traditionally known as Nandotsava, which is a second Janmashtami, celebrated by Nanda and Yashoda, Krishna's eternal associates in celestial Vrindavan. Interestingly, ISKCON to this day does not have any official observance for Nandotsava other than internal discussion and perhaps a lecture on that particular day each year, though such a lecture is optional. But according to many, Nandotsava is the real Janmashtami because it is at that time that the Vraj devotees welcome Krishna into this world, honoring him as the son of Nanda, who adorably crawls in his parents' courtyard. During this festival, the devotees' love is not diluted by the awe and reverence of the Vasudev Devaki spectacle when the Lord appears in full regalia. The Nanda and Yashoda celebration is more intimate, more in the line of Gaudiya Siddhanta, and Prabhupada appeared in this world on that same day. Perhaps this omission was deliberate on Prabhupada's part, for if he were to reveal this confidential connection with Krishna, that he was born on the real day of Krishna's appearance, some might make too much of it or take it too far, leading to the offense of declaring the spiritual master as non-different from God. And then it ended by saying, as we shall soon see, Brahmananda would indeed be one among several who were victimized by this very misconception. So that's more in the book. I thought that was so fascinating. So I want to mention that Parama Karuna Prabhu is having an unexpected surgery this morning. So we're asking the devotees to pray that everything will go smoothly for him. And I want to say hello. Krishna Kripa is not in here, but he just returned. He was gone for 6 weeks. And I really miss him when he's gone because he's one of the few people I know that when he changes the trash can bag, he washes the whole trash can and the lid. That is a man after my own heart. So I miss him when he goes away. I want to also remind everyone that very soon we're entering into our spring festival season, sooner than I realized. Advaita Acharya's appearance day is coming up at the end of this month. And then we have right around the corner from that on the Sunday is Lord Nityananda Trayodasi. So we have, and then a month later is Gaur Purnima. So we're running into some big festivals. And Pran Govind is going to help make some calls, and we're going to ask all the devotees to pitch in something so we can have nice feasts on these days. And these are the devotees who assisted their spiritual master dressing the deities today. Shishi Radhasham Sundar was Nanda Prabhu, Chota Radhasham Sundar, Leela Prabhu, Shishi Krishna Balaram, Devaki Prabhu, Chota Krishna Balaram, Guru Prasad Prabhu, Shishi Gornitai, Astasaki Prabhu, Chota Gornitai, Ekadasi Vrata Prabhu, Gurus and Lord Nishingadev, Madhuri Gopi Prabhu. Tomorrow's Ekadasi, Jai Gauri Prabhu is giving class today.
Okay? Thank you. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Panachari Jamuna Tira Panachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivradaka Acharya Stotara Sata Shri Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Nanta Kota Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Okay, well, that's okay. There's no marking. So it's 10:59. Okay. All right, so we are reading, excuse me, 10th Canto, chapter 59, text 12 through 15. This is the killing of the demon Naraka. All right. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Panchakapadrudisya Kripasindhavela Chapatitanam Pavanedyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So we're going to start, we're going to sing together 12, 13, 14, and then 15 we can do response. We got to wait for the computer. Yeah. I could do that. All right, so I'll read the English of the 12, 13, 14, why the computer is booting. Right. I'm just following the directions of the Vaishnavas here. All right, text 12. Translation. Ordered by Bhaumasura, Mura's 7 sons, Tamra, Antariksha, Shravana, Vibhavasu, Vasu, Nabhashvam, and Aruna, followed by their general, Pita, onto the battlefield, bearing their weapons. All right, text 13. These are long verses. These fierce warriors furiously attacked invincible Lord Krishna with arrows, swords, clubs, spears, lances, and tridents. But the Supreme Lord, with unfailing prowess, cut this mountain of weapons into tiny pieces with his arrows. Translation of 14. The Lord severed the heads, thighs, arms, legs, and armor of these opponents led by Pita, and sent them all to the abode of Yamaraj. Narakasura, the son of the earth, could not contain his fury when he saw the fate of his military leaders. Thus he went out of the citadel with elephants born from the milk ocean, who were exuding mada from their foreheads out of excitement. We still don't have the Sanskrit for the devotees. So I'm going to just sing the Sanskrit of 15 for now. Uh, 15, 10:59, 15. Yay! Krishna's kind. He's always in control. All right. Drishtva sabharyam garudo parishtitam. Suryo parishtat satadit ganam yata. Krishnam satashmai vyashrijak-chatagnim. Yodascha sarve yugapakcha vivyadhu. Drishva sabharyam garudo parishtitam. Suryo parishtat satadit ganam yata. Krishnam satasmai vyashrijak-chatagnim. Yodascha sarve yugapakcha vivyadhu. Please chant. Vishvasabharyam garudo parishtitam. Suryo parishtat saditi ganam yata. Krishnam satasmai vyashrijak-chatagnim. Yodascha sarve yugapakcha vivyadhu. Vishvasabharyam garudo parishtitam. Suryo Parishtat Satadit Ganam Yata. Krishnam Satashmai Vyashijak Chatagnim. Yodascha Sarve Yugapak Chavivyadu. Drishtva Sabharyam Garudo Parishtitam. Suryo Parishtat Satadi Ganam Yata. Krishnam Satashmai Vrichashijak Chatagnim. Yodascha Sarve Yugapak Chavivyadu. Ladies. Drishva Sabharyam Garudo Parishtitam. Suryo Parishtat Satadi Ganam Yata. Krishnam Satasmai Vyashijak Chatagnim. Yodascha Sarve Yugapak Chavivyadu. Drishva Sabharyam Garudo Parishtitam. Suryo Parishtat Satadid Ganam Yata. Krishnam Satashmai Vyajijak Chatagnim. Yodascha Sarve Yugapak Chavivyadu. Okay, so word for word. Drishtva, seeing. Sabharyam, with his wife. Garuda Upari, upon Garuda. Shtitam, sitting. Surya, the sun. Uparishtat, higher than. Satadit, with lightning. Ganam, a cloud. Yataha, like. Krishnam, Lord Krishna. Saha, he. Bhama, he, Bhama. Tashmai, at him. Vyashrijat, released. Shatagnim, Shatagni, the name of his Shakti spear. Yodaha, his soldiers. Cha, and. Sarve, all. Yugapat, simultaneously. Cha, and. Vivyadhu, attacked. Translation. Lord Krishna and his wife, mounted upon Garuda, looked like a cloud with lightning sitting above the sun. Seeing the Lord Bhama release his Shatagni, Bhama released his Shatagni weapon at him, whereupon all of Bhama's soldiers simultaneously attacked with their weapons. So everybody repeat. Well, together. Lord Krishna and his wife, mounted upon Garuda, looked like a cloud with lightning sitting above the sun. Seeing the Lord, Bhama released his Shatagni weapon at him, upon all the Bhama's soldiers simultaneously attacked with their weapons. So as you can see, there are no purports in these verses. So, not to worry. There's plenty to talk about. This these verses, they're so full of description of Krishna, how Krishna, is such a hero. So I want to start the class, I want to recap a little bit to get to this point, because, we are starting with the 7 sons, very angry. And then I want to talk a little bit about Krishna being the hero. And I picked some of his qualities that relate to this verse. And then there's an image that I want to put out there for all the artists in ISKCON, and that I find is so beautiful. I'll mention that in the end. Okay, so to recap, Krishna is showing his prowess. He mounted on Garuda with Satyabhama. He came to this fortress. The citadel was a fortress. So, so there was even electrified fence that Krishna smashed with his Sudarshana disc. So this is like fire. Sudarshana is like counteract, it's a fire weapon. And so electricity is no problem for Sudarshana. Nothing is a problem, but, he counteracted that electric fence with his Sudarshana weapon. And Krishna has all these, arrows that do all different things. So there's a description that, each of the prophets saying in a Krishna book, that each arrow had a purpose. So he was just shooting all these arrows and nullifying all the fortifications, the protection that Narakasura had set up. And so then when he gets to getting a little closer, there is a moat. And inside the moat lived a demon called Mura. That was his place for living. He was sleeping inside the water. And this monster with 5 heads and 5 mouths, and it says that the description says that when he came out of the water, he was blazing like the sun. So he was like an effulgent being with his trident and his big mouths and 5 heads, and how Krishna, with his very incredible arrows, he just shot a bunch of arrows and filled up his mouth with all different arrows because he was bellowing loudly. And says that, Mura's bellowing was a piercing out of space. And even in Vraja they could hear. And, it was some vibration with his mouth. It was one of his ways to bewilder his enemy. And then Srila Shukadeva Goswami, he describes this verse, the first verse here, that these fierce warriors, they furiously attacked invincible Krishna. They had just witnessed their father being murdered and being killed. And so they were, not only very fierce warriors, but they were enraged. So there was a lot of Shakti there. They came with all they have. And in the Nectar Devotion, Lord Chaitanya describes Shri Krishna, and that relates to this because Krishna is always invincible, even in the, so they came with all their power, they came with all their emotion, their father had been killed, they came with everything they had, and they were like fierce warriors, but they were facing invincible Krishna. Hey, can't get away from that one. So in this Madhya 2381, where is the verse? I have the verse here somewhere. So it goes. This is mentioned in this verse, they are that the Lord possesses inconceivable supreme power. So, he's our hero. Imagine this hero that is going around and he has inconceivable supreme power. 2, he generates innumerable universes from his body. What power is that? He is the original source of all incarnations. And 4, he bestows salvation upon enemies he kills. And 5, he has the ability to attract exalted persons who are satisfied in themselves. And although these qualities are present in Narayan, they are even more wonderfully present in Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada also mentioned in the Krishna book, in the Nectar Devotion, and the qualities of Krishna. So I picked a few that relate to this pastime. So clever, Krishna's clever. And the definition of a clever person is that a person who can perform various types of work at once. So here, just in the first verse and the second, right? The first description of the Mura's 7 sons, and then what did Krishna do? He pierced. These furious would attack the invincible Lord Krishna with arrows, swords, spears, lance, tridents, with everything. But Krishna, with the unfailing prowess, he cut this mountain of weapons into tiny pieces with his arrows. So there's no job too big that Krishna can do. So he's a person who can perform various types of work at once. He's clever, and he's also expert. Any person who can quickly execute a very difficult task is an expert. He just did. And he's determined. In his determination, the description is like, he went to a lot of trouble to secure the Parijata flower for Satyabhama. And there's a conversation between Narada and Krishna in the Nectar Devotion. And Krishna is addressing Narada Muni, and he's saying, everyone, he's an all-auspicious person. And Krishna is also powerful. Powerful is a person who can always put his enemy into calamities. So all these, it's part of human nature to worship heroes, to get excited over heroes. In our Western culture, we have Superman and Batman, and there's so many, we love to hear those stories over and over again. And there are comic books, there are TV shows, there are motion pictures, and not only one version, but there are like 10 versions of the same story or more. And, nowadays it's like also have a Spider-Man, so many heroes so people love those, it's part of human nature to appreciate heroes and appreciate prowess. And, but the way Krishna is described here in this chapter is nothing but short of amazing. Excuse me. So Krishna is just, his prowess is beyond anything that we can possibly, compare. And after Indra, now going on with the verses, so now it's saying that it's describing how the Lord came with Garuda. That's the 15. So to get a little recap in that, how did Krishna got into Garuda? the Gopala Champu describes it very, very interestingly. So after Indra had made his request in Dwarka, immediately Shri Garuda appeared, and Shri Krishna, along with Satyabhama, mounted the Lord's carrier. And I'm going to read to you how the conversation between Krishna and Indra. So when Indra came to all right. So Krishna is talking to Indra, and Krishna said, touching Krishna's foot dust and putting it on his head, joyful of seeing his merciful glance, then they said, like the demigods with Indra, they said, our brother Garuda, deliverer of those in trouble, the snake eater, should be your sitting place when you go to defeat him. And Krishna said, how can humans like us use Narayan's seat? And so they said, while smiling, by our desire, the mood of Narayan will be very visible in you now. So this is, they're describing, this is the Gopala Champu it's in Vrajas in Goloka Vrindavan. So there are those two people, they're telling the stories of Krishna, of the pastimes of Krishna in Gokula, in earth. And so they're telling this to Nanda Maharaj's assembly. So when they said, the mood of Narayana will be visible in you now. And then Krishna said, this should not be displayed in humans. And they said again, what you do not want will be possible. So this, for Nanda Maharaj to hear this, is like, the demigods made Krishna show up as Narayan. So that's, in his mind, that's how he's seeing it. And then there's more, because when Krishna he mounted on Garuda and he went and he broke all those obstacles and the electrified fence and Mura started bellowing out. Imagine the 5-headed Mura, and Krishna is up there and is in Garuda. And this monster is just bellowing, and they say that the sound was piercing the outer space. So all that's happening. It reminded me of Spider-Man, because I have kids, and so they all watched Spider-Man. Again, they like the heroes. And Spider-Man had a villain that was like an octopus. He had some... But that would not compare, to Mura's prowess. But Krishna, he displaying his heroic and clever and expert and determined and steadfast and all auspicious and powerful qualities. So Krishna mounted Garuda with his wife. And the description here of what happens when Krishna manifests those two extra arms is interesting. So the messenger said, so Nanda is asking, then what happened? So when he mounted Garuda with his 4 weapons and departed, 2 more arms appeared on his body like reflections. Nanda said, we have understood that previously at Garga's name-giving ceremony, we have understood that. So by the mercy of Narayan, he shows similarity. Garga said, your child will have qualities like Narayan. So that's how Nanda is rationalizing in his head, hearing the story. And the messenger said, true. Satyabhama, seeing those extra arms, touched them, and covering her mouth with her cloth, began to laugh privately. So, I thought that was a nice insight because, she was married to two-armed Krishna, and then all of a sudden, she was like, what is this? Two more arms, are they real? So this is the setting here. And about that image that I was saying, that I wanted to put out to the artists, is that, and in this verse 15, when it describes like Garuda, they are in the Gopala Champu, it says that they were very high up in the sky, and this happened here, because the Mura came. Mura was not Mura, Narkasura was coming to attack. Oh, there's one more thing I want to say before that, because I'm going to leave that for the end. Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the Krishna book that those elephants, they're described here as they're exuding mada from their foreheads. Prabhupada said that the elephants, they were intoxicated. And that was the only, because this is mentioned like in half a sentence in the Krishna book. But that was the one thing that does not have here or in the other books, is that Prabhupada mentioned that, those elephants, they were intoxicated. And so Narkasura, there was a very nice class before talking about, he's the son of Bhumi. And he had this special weapon, this spear, called the Shatagni. So the Shatagni weapon, he was, he saw all his generals, the leaders of his army, they had just been slaughtered, just finished. Their Krishna cut their arms, cut their legs, cut their heads, just separating all the limbs and heads from the trunk. Now imagine that, scene. And Narkasura, he thought that he had all this, he was all that, with all that power. Because imagine, he had all those protection in the city. He had these fierce, demons, these big monsters that to protect his city. So, and then his generals, they were all finished. So he was like, he was dealing with some supernatural power. And so he was quite startled with that. There's a description of him. And so he came out with these elephants. So the elephants were very excited. So they were exuding this mada. It's like a creamy substance from their foreheads. It's kind of never heard of that before. But yeah, so because those elephants, they were born from the milk ocean. So they were not just normal elephants, they were quite of a brew. And so when Narakasura saw all this, and then he looked at Krishna, that's when Krishna was up in the sky, and he looked at Krishna and Satyabhama like the cloud. That's Krishna with this color of a rain cloud, and Satyabhama as lightning. So she was shining. They were sitting on Garuda. Garuda's big, and he looked like the sun. He's like a golden bird. And so that image, I find it so beautiful and fascinating that I would love to see. Maybe our Pushkar will be inspired to paint it, because it's beautiful. It has such Shakti. And yeah, so and then, we are halfway through the story here. I'm not going to go on what's happening today, but this is it when Narakasura charged with all that he had, all his weapons and his soldiers. I leave it to the imagination what happened to them, fighting the invincible Krishna. There is another part here that talks about this description of Narakasura. So the messenger said, here. So the messages, this is a description of, in the Gopal Champa. So they're glorifying Krishna, saying how, you have understood correctly that what had happened, but it cannot be understood so clearly. That's the skill of Krishna. So, and then he came to the fortress city, which the Devatas could not enter. The fortress was surrounded by mountains, weapons, lakes, natural fire, insurmountable wind, and nooses made by Muras, who could change their form at will. Seeing that fort while on Garuda, Krishna was amazed, and he made Satyabhama's hair stand on end for fun. And Krishna considered, I will enter this fort which the Devatas could not pass by riding on Garuda. By this trick he entered the fort not by strength. Show of strength is for warriors. I should also show that. And Nanda Maharaj said, then what happened? And the messenger said, when he curiously entered the city from above, while traversing the whole city, he thought of smashing the fort completely. And Nanda said, how did he do that? And the messenger said, first he began destroying the 5 elements. With his club, he smashed the mountains, and with his arrows, he pulverized the weapons. He submerged the earthly portions in the water tanks. Then with his chakra, he merged the water into fire, and the fire into air, and the air into ether. It's like make everything disappear. The mystic powers of Krishna. So and the people of Raja said in amazement, then what happened? And the messenger said, then he took the portions of earth which were separated as 6,000 terrible nooses with sharp points and shredded them with his swords like cotton. After this, events occurred without a break. So we this is about, 2 classes ago. So now, not only did the sound of his conch make all weapons useless, it made the hearts of all the best men useless, since it was the cause of fear. He destroyed the walls with his club, Komodaki. The stones from the walls fell on the backs and limbs of the enemy and killed them. So, imagine. This is like an incredible scene. So a battle arose to cross the moats. The terrifying demon named Mura, who despised death itself, was sleeping in the oceanic moat. When Krishna blew his conch while roving about, the demon woke up. 2 things bewildered me in this event. This is the messenger saying. The bellowing of the conch and the sleeping Mura. The sound of the conch was equal to the thunder at the time of final devastation. Mura's sleep was also the shelter of complete destruction. When he arose from the water and stood with his trident, it appeared that 5-headed Shiva was about to destroy the universe. Do I have your attention? Okay. So when he blocked the path with the fire arising from his anger, it appeared that fire and the sun were colliding at the time of annihilation. When he displayed his 5 heads, it appeared that Kalagni Rudra, extending his tongues to swallow everything, had appeared for causing catastrophe. When he ran forward as if to burn Garuda, it seemed that snakes had burst out of Rudra's chest. When he moved about and threw his trident at Garuda, bellowing loudly with his 5 mouths, you also could experience it. It spread throughout all the places in the universe, including Vraja. All the people in the assembly of Vraja, remembering previous incidents, they said, "What happened after that?" Because they knew that Krishna's activities were all super out of this world. So they're like totally focused. So the messenger said, "Krishna, who acts for the welfare of the devatas, simultaneously quelled all the disturbances and remained jovial. He cut Mura's trident in 3 pieces with 2 sharp arrows and stuffed the demons' mouths with 5 arrows of various shapes as if his mouths were quivers." Everyone said in astonishment, "Then what happened?" The messenger said, "The demon, desiring to show his skills, but actually desiring to die, threw his club at Krishna, but the club, though strong, was smashed in 1,000 pieces by Krishna's club. Then Krishna scattered his limbs by the power of his chakra, giving astonishment to all." And Nanda said, "Then what happened?" And the messenger said, "Krishna then confronted Mura's 7 sons, like elephants in the directions, exemplifying the elephants by showing pride. Their pride became more uncontrollable with the assistance of 8 commanders-in-chief. He killed them also. Then Naraka, his pride deflated on seeing remarkable actions beyond human skill, felt hopeless. Seeing no alternative, he came in front with quickly moving troops and began fighting fiercely and fearlessly with all his hands. In that battle, Krishna shot all the enemies with his arrows." Now it talks about how Naraka's appearance. Naraka had emerged from his fortress equipped with 10,000 hands like the ocean. Accompanied by unlimited troops, he hurled fiery arrows equipped with the Shatagni, firing 3 arrows at each weapon simultaneously. In all directions, Krishna destroyed those weapons. Just by his glance, he destroyed the foreheads and other limbs of the warriors. So, this is interesting when he attacks Garuda. So when the enemy troops moved crookedly like snakes, calculating that they were not violent, Krishna used Garuda to move close. By flapping his wings, Garuda dissipated Naraka's powers just by the flapping of his wings. The 2 powers merged so that Naraka could do nothing. When Naraka was about to hurl Shiva's invisible weapon, that was the Shatagni, from a distance, Krishna destroyed it and destroyed Naraka's attractive forehead. Naraka could not understand where, how, when, why, what, or who did it. When Naraka died, the demons lamented and the devas rejoiced. And it goes on. This is like nectar upon nectar upon nectar. So this is what I wanted to mention today. It's I hope you all enjoy these stories of Krishna. I certainly could be, listening to this 24/7. I find it so enlivening, and I hope it was for you too. So, any questions or comments or corrections? Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. That was nice. Must have been fun studying for it.
I know. It's like, you read these pastimes and you just get so absorbed in them. That's why I was just envisioning this. I really would like to see Pushkar's rendition of it.
What I was remarking on it was that, Krishna is doing all this, and there's Satyabhama sitting there with him. I'm thinking, wow, he's got to protect her, plus protect himself, and he's like doing it like without even, it's amazing. It's one thing if the warrior could do that just on his own, but then he's sitting there with his wife. So that was amazing.
Right, and she's seeing it firsthand how he's emptying, like
Narakasura's father.
There wasn't any mention of Naraka's father.
Yeah, was there any mention?
No.
No, because Chaitanya Bhagavat describes something. Narakasura's history. He was described that this Narakasura was the.
Is the mic on?
Is it? It's on.
Okay.
Narakasura was the son of Mother Earth, as described today, but Mother Earth gave birth because of the touch of Lord Varaha when he picked up from the ocean like that. And Chaitanya Bhagavat describes how he was a very pious king in the beginning of his life, but because of bad association, so it's described, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is describing how important association is, and how, of course, in Chaitanya Charitamrita it says that the main quality of a devotee is that he gives up bad association. A satsangacharya, a Vaishnavacharya, a satsangacharya. So, Hare Krishna.
Jai, thank you. Yeah, we can never underestimate the power of association. So Naraka, he'd say that he was a good king, and then by bad association, he became this demonic, in that he was like really challenging material nature, trying to overlord everything, thinking that he could protect himself. But hey, invisible Krishna was on his way, on the back of Garuda with his wife, shining like lightning. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu?
I was wondering what other pastimes where Krishna brought his queen. It just dawned on me that I don't know. I can't think of where his queens actually came with him, and did they ever participate in the battles? I mean, we know Durga does a lot of fighting, but I don't know that Krishna's queens, even though they probably had Kshatriya type talents and abilities, what they did.
Well, in the, in the Krishna Lila, I think Satyabhama is it. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the Ram Lila, Kaikeyi, that's how she got her boons that she claimed at a very crucial time. She was his charioteer, Dasarath's charioteer, and she took care of his wounds and took care of